Admiral Hyun-woo Kim stood on the bridge of his destroyer, watching the alien ship hovering above Earth's Pacific Ocean. The massive vessel blocked out the sun like a dark cloud. 3 years had passed since the Galactic Federation first arrived, and still they treated humans like children who had just learned to walk. "Sir, the Federation observer is requesting another inspection of our fleet," Captain So-Young Park reported from her station. Her fingers moved quickly across the control panel, making sure all the secret systems stayed hidden. Hyun-woo nodded slowly. "Tell KL-7 he can count our ships again if he wants. Make sure he only sees what we want him to see." The reptilian. Alien had been living on Earth for 2 years now. He spent his days writing reports about humanity's primitive technology. His scales would shimmer with what humans had learned was amusement whenever he saw their surface ships. To KL-7, Earth's navy looked like toys compared to Federation vessels. KL-7 believed Earth had exactly 2,847 military ships. He had counted them many times. What he did not know was that deep beneath the ocean waves, in places no Federation scanner had ever looked, humanity was hiding something incredible. "Captain Park, any word from the deep stations?" Hyun-woo asked quietly. So-Young checked her secret communication device. "Admiral Taemin reports all underwater facilities are running perfectly. The Mariana Complex finished building 50 more submarines this month. The Atlantic Deep Yards completed their new carrier-class vessel yesterday." Hyun-woo smiled. Humanity had been busy for the past 150 years. While the world above focused on space technology, trying to reach the stars, the real work happened in Earth's deepest places. Massive cities had been built on the ocean floor. Factories that could build ships faster than any surface facility. Weapons that made Federation technology look ancient. The best part was how easy it had been to hide everything. The Federation came from dry planets. They thought of oceans as empty water, not as perfect hiding places. Their scanners looked for metal and energy in space, not in the crushing depths where human engineering had learned to thrive. Ambassador Dong-Hyun Lee called from Earth's capital city. His face appeared on the screen, showing his usual humble expression. "Admiral Kim, the Federation Council wants to know if Earth can contribute more ships to their border patrols. They say our current fleet is too small to help much." "What did you tell them?" Hyun-woo asked. "I told them we would try our best, but our technology is limited. I made sure to sound embarrassed about our weak capabilities." Dong-Hyun's eyes showed the truth behind his act. He was one of the few people who knew about humanity's real strength. This had been Earth's strategy from the beginning. When the Federation first arrived, human leaders made a simple choice. They could reveal their true power and possibly start a war, or they could pretend to be weak while learning everything about their new alien neighbors. The choice was easy. Humans were good at being underestimated. Dr. Yoon-ji Han's voice came through the secret communication system. She was calling from a research station 3 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. "Admiral, our newest stealth technology is ready for testing. The Federation will never detect our ships even if they pass right next to them." "Excellent work, Doctor. How many vessels can we hide with the new system?" "All of them, sir. Every single ship in the Deep Fleet can now move without being seen." Hyun-woo looked out at the Federation observer ship again. KL-7 was probably inside right now, writing another report about how humans pose no threat to galactic peace. The reptilian alien would describe Earth's ships as slow, weak, and built with old technology. He would recommend that the Federation continue treating humans as junior members who needed protection and guidance. If only KL-7 knew what was really happening beneath his feet. The ocean floor around the world looked busy, like a giant construction site. Massive machines built submarines that could travel faster than light. Underwater cities housed millions of people who worked day and night to prepare for the future. Weapons laboratories created new types of bombs and energy beams that could destroy ships from impossible distances. But the most impressive thing was not the technology. It was how many ships humanity had built. The Federation thought Earth had less than 3,000 military vessels. The real number was closer to 200,000. More than 1 million submarines, carriers, destroyers, and support ships hidden in underwater bases across the globe. The Pacific Ocean alone held more firepower than the entire Federation fleet. "Sir, KL-7 is requesting permission to board and inspect our weapons systems, So Young reported. Of course he is. Let him come aboard. Make sure he sees our oldest missiles and weakest computers. Let him think we are still using chemical rockets and basic radar. 20 minutes later, Kyle-7 walked onto the bridge. His green scales caught the light as he moved. Like all Federation members, he was taller than most humans. His long neck allowed him to look down at everyone in the room. Admiral Kim, your species continues to impress me with your determination, KL-7 said in his strange, hissing voice. Even with such limited technology, you try so hard to contribute to galactic defense. We do our best, Hyun-woo replied, keeping his voice humble. Perhaps someday our ships will be worthy of serving alongside Federation vessels. Kyle-7's neck swayed in what humans had learned meant agreement. Perhaps in a few hundred years, when your technology improves. For now, your ships are best used for local patrol duties, nothing too dangerous. The alien spent an hour looking at fake weapon displays and outdated computer systems. He took notes about humanity's primitive nuclear missiles and basic communication equipment. He completely missed the hidden quantum computers and dimensional phase weapons built into the ship's real systems. After KL-7 left, So Young began laughing. He actually believed our fusion reactor was the most advanced technology on the ship. He has no idea we are running on quantum energy cores. The Federation has grown comfortable, Hyun-woo said. They have been the strongest power in the galaxy for so long that they stopped expecting surprises. That will be their weakness. Deep beneath the ocean, General Taemin Choi was holding a meeting with his submarine commanders. The underwater conference room was built inside a mountain on the sea floor. Hundreds of officers from around the world listened as he spoke. Our friends in the Federation believe they know everything about human military power, Taemin said. They think we are weak and need their protection. Soon they may learn how wrong they are. Commander Ji-hoon Yoon raised his hand. General, how much longer do we wait? My crews are ready for action. Our ships are faster and stronger than anything the Federation has ever seen. We wait until the right moment, Taemin replied. Patience has always been humanity's greatest weapon. We have spent 150 years preparing for something the Federation cannot imagine. When the time comes, the galaxy will see what humans can really do. Above them, KL-7 was finishing his daily report to the Federation Council. He wrote about Earth's continued technological limitations and recommended that humans remain in their current status as protected junior members. He had no idea that beneath the waves, humanity was building the largest military force the galaxy had ever seen. Soon, everything would change. The emergency signal reached Earth at exactly 14:30 Galactic Standard Time. Ambassador Dong-Hyun Lee was in his office when the Federation's urgent message arrived. His face went pale as he read the report. Captain Park, get Admiral Kim immediately, he said into his communicator. The situation has changed. So Young received the call while she was reviewing underwater construction reports. What is it, Ambassador? The Crimson Swarm has attacked 3 Federation worlds. They destroyed everything. Complete annihilation. The Federation is calling an emergency council meeting. Within an hour, Dong-Hyun was sitting in the Federation Council chambers. The massive room was filled with representatives from dozens of alien species. Everyone looked worried and scared. High Arbiter Xyloth, the Federation's leader, stood at the center of the room. His blue skin had turned darker, which meant he was very upset. Fellow council members, Xyloth began, we face the greatest threat in Federation history. The Crimson Swarm has returned from the outer galaxy. 3 of our worlds are gone, completely destroyed. No survivors. Worried voices filled the room. The Crimson Swarm was a nightmare from the Federation's past. Insectoid creatures that traveled in massive ships, eating everything in their path. They had disappeared beyond the galaxy's edge over 200 years ago. Everyone hoped they were gone forever. How many ships did they use? Asked General Vrak, a warrior from the militaristic Thorian Empire. Our intelligence estimates at least 300,000 vessels, Xyloth replied. Perhaps more. They move faster than our scouts can track them. Dong-Hyun listened carefully, keeping his face calm. Inside, he was thinking quickly. This was exactly the kind of situation Earth had been preparing for. Finally, a real test of Federation strength. What about our combined fleet? asked Ambassador Kethra from the Crystalline Collective. "Surely our 50,000 ships can stop them." Xyloth's expression grew darker. "Our initial response fleet engaged the swarm near the Rigel system. They were destroyed in less than 6 hours. The enemy's technology appears to have improved significantly during their absence." The room fell silent. The Federation's mighty fleet, pride of the galaxy, had been crushed easily. If 50,000 advanced warships could not stop the swarm, what could? "All member species must contribute their full military strength," Xyloth announced. "This is no longer about border disputes or trade disagreements. This is about survival." One by one, species representatives stood to announce their contributions. The Thorians would provide 8,000 battlecruisers. The Crystalline Collective offered 12,000 energy-based vessels. The Aquatic Alliance promised 6,000 deep space carriers. Finally, all eyes turned to Dong-hyun. He stood slowly, looking appropriately nervous. "Honored council members," he began. "Earth pledges all of our available military vessels to this great cause. We know our technology is limited compared to your advanced civilizations, but humanity will not stand aside while the galaxy faces destruction." "How many ships can your species provide?" Xyloth asked. Dong-hyun paused, as if embarrassed. "Approximately 2,800 vessels, High Arbiter. We understand this is not much compared to the great fleets of the Federation, but we will do everything possible to help." Several alien representatives made sounds that humans had learned meant polite sympathy. Poor humans, trying so hard with their primitive technology. "Every contribution matters," Xyloth said kindly. "Your species' determination is admirable, even if your capabilities are limited." After the meeting, Dong-hyun returned to Earth immediately. He found Admiral Hyun-woo waiting in the Secure Communications Center. "How did it go?" Hyun-woo asked. "Perfect. They believe we are offering everything we have. The Federation has no idea what is really coming." Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, General Taemin Choi was holding an emergency meeting with Earth's real military leadership. The underwater conference room was packed with admirals, generals, and scientists from around the world. "The Crimson Swarm has returned," Taemin announced. "Intelligence reports suggest they have grown stronger during their time away. The Federation's initial response was completely destroyed." Dr. Yoon-ji Han stood up from her seat. "General, our deep space monitoring stations detected the swarm's energy signatures 3 days ago. They are using some kind of biological technology we have never seen before." "What do our projections show?" asked Admiral Sung-ho Lim, commander of the Atlantic Deep Fleet. "Based on their current speed and direction, the swarm will reach the Inter-Federation systems within 6 months. Earth will likely be their final target." The room buzzed with conversation. This was the moment humanity had been preparing for since the Federation's arrival. Commander Ji-hoon Yoon raised his hand. "General, are we ready to reveal our true capabilities?" "Not yet," Taemin replied. "The Federation must first understand that their conventional approach will fail. Only when they are desperate will our revelation have maximum impact." Dr. Yoon-ji activated a holographic display showing the galaxy. Red markers indicated swarm positions, while blue showed Federation forces. "The enemy is using hit-and-run tactics," she explained. "They strike fast, destroy everything, then disappear before reinforcements arrive. Traditional space-based warfare cannot stop them." "What about our underwater approach?" asked Captain Min Seo Choi, commander of one of Earth's newest stealth destroyers. "That is our advantage," Dr. Yoon-ji smiled. "The swarm expects space battles. They have no experience fighting enemies that can hide in planetary oceans and strike from unexpected directions." Admiral Hyun-woo entered the room with urgent news. "I just received word from our spy network. The Federation is planning to make a stand at the Centauri system. They are gathering every available ship for one massive battle." "How many vessels will they have?" Taemin asked. "Approximately 75,000 ships from all member species. They believe this overwhelming force will stop the swarm." Taemin shook his head. "They still do not understand. The swarm does not fight like the Federation. Raw numbers will not save them." Dr. Soon-hee Kwon, Earth's leading expert on quantum warfare, stood to address the group. "General, our latest intelligence suggests the swarm uses biological ships that can adapt to enemy weapons. Traditional energy beams and missiles become less effective with each attack. But our quantum technology should work perfectly," our weapons phase between dimensions. The swarm cannot adapt to something that does not technically exist in their reality. 3 weeks later, news arrived that confirmed Earth's predictions. The Battle of Centauri had been a disaster. The Federation's combined fleet of 75,000 ships fought bravely for 18 hours before being completely destroyed. The swarm had lost perhaps 5,000 vessels in return. High Arbiter Xyloth sent a desperate message to all remaining Federation worlds. The enemy was advancing toward the core systems. Evacuation plans were being prepared for essential populations. On Earth, Kale-7 was growing increasingly worried. The reptilian observer had received orders to help evacuate important humans from the planet. The Federation assumed Earth would be one of the swarm's easier targets. Admiral Kim, Kale-7 said during one of his regular visits, "My superiors recommend that your government begin identifying essential personnel for evacuation. Your planet cannot defend itself against this enemy." Hyun-woo nodded seriously. "We appreciate the Federation's concern. Earth will prepare for evacuation procedures as recommended." What Kale-7 did not know was that these evacuation procedures involved moving people into underground facilities that were actually massive submarine bases. Every day, more humans disappeared from surface cities, supposedly fleeing to hidden shelters. In reality, they were joining the crews of Earth's secret fleet. Commander Woo-Jin Lee was putting his submarine crews through final training exercises in the deepest parts of the Pacific. His vessel, the massive carrier submarine Incheon's Might, was larger than most Federation battleships. It could carry 500 fighter craft and had enough firepower to destroy an entire enemy fleet. "Captain, how many ships are ready for deployment?" Woo-Jin asked his second-in-command. "Sir, the Pacific Fleet reports 400,000 vessels fully operational. The Atlantic Fleet has 350,000 ships ready. The Indian Ocean and Arctic fleets combined have another 250,000 vessels prepared for action. 1 million ships, hidden beneath Earth's oceans, waiting for the right moment to surprise the galaxy." Navigator Yuki was running final checks on her stealth fighter. The small craft could phase between dimensions, making it invisible to any known detection system. More importantly, it could strike targets from angles that should be impossible. "Navigator, are you ready for the real test?" her squadron leader asked. "Yes, sir. We have been practicing for 3 years. The swarm will never see us coming." As the Crimson Swarm advanced through Federation space, destroying everything in its path, Earth made its final preparations. Soon, the galaxy would learn that humanity had been hiding something incredible beneath the waves. The Federation thought they were about to lose their weakest member. Instead, they were about to gain their strongest ally. The Federation evacuation fleet arrived at Earth on a cloudy Tuesday morning. Commodore Vrak led 12 massive transport ships designed to carry essential personnel away from the doomed planet. His gray, stone-like skin showed no emotion as he looked down at Earth from his flagship's bridge. "Such a beautiful world," his aide commented. "Pity the swarm will consume it all." Vrak nodded slowly. "The humans fought bravely, but their technology is too primitive. We can save perhaps 1 million of them. The rest will have to face their fate." What Vrak did not know was that every move his fleet made was being watched by invisible eyes. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Commander Ji-Hoon Yoon sat in his submarine's command center, tracking the Federation ships with sensors they could never detect. "Captain So-young, the evacuation fleet is in position," Ji-Hoon reported through the secret communication network. "Understood. Begin Phase 1 of the operation," So-young replied from her position at Earth's underwater command center. For the past month, humans had been disappearing from surface cities around the world. The Federation believed they were fleeing to underground shelters to hide from the coming swarm attack. In reality, something much more interesting was happening. Lieutenant Hae-jin Kim was coordinating the movement of 50,000 people from Seoul. To outside observers, long lines of scared civilians were entering subway tunnels that led to deep shelters, but these tunnels had been secretly modified. They went much deeper than anyone suspected, connecting to underwater transport systems that carried people to submarine cities on the ocean floor. "Transport 7 is ready for departure," Hae-jin reported. Another 2,000 civilians are now safely aboard the underwater city New Busan. The evacuation was actually the largest military mobilization in human history. Families were being moved to safety, but not because they were running away. They were getting out of the way so Earth's real military could take action. Dr. Yun-ji, Han was completing final preparations at the Mariana Deep Research Station. The facility, located in Earth's deepest ocean trench, was the heart of humanity's secret defense network. Massive computers calculated attack patterns while quantum laboratories finished the last of Earth's new weapons. Dr. Han, the stealth field generators are fully operational, her assistant reported. We can now hide up to 500,000 vessels simultaneously without detection. Yunji smiled. Excellent. The Federation scanners will never see us coming. Above, the ocean surface, Ambassador Dong-Hyun Lee was playing his role perfectly. He met with Commodore Vrak to discuss evacuation procedures, looking appropriately worried and grateful. Commodore, humanity thanks the Federation for this generous rescue effort, Dong-Hyun said, his voice showing just the right amount of humble desperation. How many of our people can you save? Perhaps 1 million, if we work quickly, Vrak replied. Your government should prioritize scientists, artists, and other essential personnel. The swarm will reach this system within days. We understand. Earth will begin immediate evacuation procedures. What Vrak saw over the next 48 hours seemed to confirm his expectations. Long lines of humans entered underground facilities across the planet. Transportation networks moved people toward deep shelters in mountainous regions. Surface cities began to look empty and abandoned. But if Vrak could have seen what was really happening, he would have been amazed. The deep shelters were actually entrances to Earth's underwater civilization. The transportation networks led to submarine bases that had been hidden for over a century. The empty cities on the surface were being replaced by busy underwater cities that hummed with military activity. General Tai-Min Choi was overseeing the final positioning of Earth's hidden fleet. From his command center 5 miles below the Pacific Ocean, he could monitor every submarine, carrier, and stealth ship in humanity's arsenal. Admiral Bo-Ra, what is the status of the Pacific Deep Fleet? He asked. Admiral Bo-Ra Yu's face appeared on the main screen. Behind her, the massive underwater harbor of New Seoul stretched for miles in every direction. Thousands of submarines moved in perfect formation, preparing for deployment. Sir, all 400,000 vessels in the Pacific Fleet are ready for action. Our newest quantum drive submarines can reach Earth orbit in under 30 minutes. The stealth destroyers are completely invisible to Federation scanning technology. Excellent. What about our space-capable vessels? The ocean-to-space transition systems are fully operational. Our submarines can operate in the vacuum of space as effectively as they do underwater. This was humanity's greatest secret. While the Federation focused on building ships in space, humans had learned to build them in Earth's deepest places. The crushing pressure of the deep ocean made their vessels incredibly strong. The quantum technology that allowed them to move through water also worked perfectly in the emptiness of space. Commander Woo Jin Lee was making final preparations aboard his flagship, the Incheon's Might. The massive submarine was larger than most Federation capital ships, but it could move through water without making any sound at all. More importantly, it could carry and launch 500 smaller attack craft while remaining completely hidden. Commander, the fighter squadrons are ready for deployment, his tactical officer reported. Navigator Yuki reports that her stealth fighters can phase between dimensions to attack from impossible angles. Perfect. The swarm expects conventional space battles. They have no idea what dimensional warfare can do. 50 miles away, Navigator Yuki was running final checks on her fighter craft. The small ship looked normal from the outside, but it contained technology that would seem like magic to most galactic civilizations. It could become invisible, phase through solid objects, and strike targets from directions that should not exist. Squadron leader, my craft is ready for combat, Yuki reported. The quantum phase systems are working perfectly. Good. Remember, the enemy will try to adapt to our weapons. Do not give them time to understand what we are doing. Meanwhile, Mira Blackstone was coordinating intelligence operations from her position inside the Federation evacuation fleet. Half human and half Federation hybrid, she had spent years building trust with alien military commanders. Now she was using that trust to feed them false information. Commodore Vrak, Earth's government reports that 800,000 civilians have successfully reached the deep shelters, Mira said, showing him fake evacuation reports. The remaining population is preparing for final transport. Excellent progress, Vrak replied. Your species shows remarkable organization for such a primitive civilization. What Vrak did not realize was that these evacuation reports were actually deployment orders for Earth's military forces. Every number Mira showed him represented submarine squadrons moving into position around the planet. Dr. Sun Hee Kwan was putting the finishing touches on Earth's quantum defense network. From her laboratory, deep beneath the Atlantic Ocean, she could coordinate the movement of over 1 million vessels simultaneously. The system used quantum entanglement to allow instant communication across vast distances. Dr. Kwan, the fleet. Coordination system is online, her assistant announced. We can now control all submarine forces in real time, regardless of their position. Magnificent. The Federation has never seen coordinated warfare on this scale. 3 days later, the Crimson Swarm's advanced scouts reached the edge of Earth's solar system. Dark insectoid ships the size of small moons began moving toward the inner planets. Their biological hulls pulsed with unnatural energy, and their weapon systems charged with power that could destroy entire worlds. War Prime Thrak led the invasion force from his flagship, a living vessel that had grown rather than been built. His compound eyes studied the intelligence reports about Earth's pathetic military capabilities. This world should provide an easy victory, Thrak said to his subordinates. Our scouts report only a few thousand primitive vessels. The Federation evacuation fleet will be destroyed first, then we will consume the planet itself. High above Earth's atmosphere, Commodore Vrak received word of the swarm's approach. His small defense fleet of Federation ships prepared for a hopeless battle. They had perhaps 200 vessels against thousands of swarm attackers. All ships, prepare for combat, Vrak ordered. We must buy time for the evacuation transports to escape. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, General Taemin gave a very different order. All fleets, prepare for surface action. Today, the galaxy learns what humanity can really do. Admiral Hyunwoo Kim stood on the bridge of his secret flagship, watching as thousands of Federation and swarm ships moved into position far above. Soon, both sides would discover that Earth had been hiding something incredible. Admiral, his communications officer reported, we are receiving the final surface command from General Taemin. Hyunwoo smiled. After 150 years of preparation, humanity was finally ready to reveal its true strength. Signal all submarine fleets, he ordered. Phase 1 is complete. Begin Phase 2. Yes, sir. Transmitting the surface command now. Around the world, the ocean began to change. War Prime Thrak watched Earth grow larger on his main display screen. The blue and green planet looked peaceful and helpless, just as the intelligence reports had promised. His invasion force of 200,000 swarm ships moved into attack formation, preparing to destroy the Federation's weakest member world. Begin the assault, Thrak ordered. His voice carried the clicking sounds that all swarm leaders made when they were excited about feeding. Eliminate the Federation evacuation fleet first, then consume the planet. Above Earth's atmosphere, Commodore Vrak prepared his small defense force for a hopeless battle. His 200 Federation ships were completely outnumbered, but duty required them to fight. All vessels, engage the enemy, Vrak transmitted. Make every shot count. The space battle began exactly as everyone expected. Federation ships fired their energy weapons at the advancing swarm fleet. The insectoid vessels absorbed the damage with their biological hulls and returned fire with devastating biological weapons. Within minutes, it was clear the Federation forces would be destroyed. Deep beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Seung-ho Lim watched the battle through long-range sensors. His flagship, the Soul's Depth, was positioned at the center of humanity's largest submarine fleet. Around him, thousands of other vessels waited in perfect silence. Admiral, the surface battle is proceeding as predicted, his tactical officer reported. The Federation fleet will be destroyed within the hour. Perfect. Signal all submarine commanders, prepare for emergency surface. What happened next changed galactic history forever. From every ocean on Earth, massive shapes began rising toward the surface. Not dozens of submarines, not hundreds, but thousands upon thousands of vessels that had been hiding in the deepest parts of Earth's seas. The Pacific Ocean erupted first. Commander Ji-Hoon Yoon's submarine Soul's Depth broke the surface with a roar of displaced water. The vessel was 3 times larger than the biggest Federation battleship, but it moved with impossible speed and grace. "Surface confirmed," Ji-hoon reported to Fleet Command. "Beginning combat ascent to orbital position." Behind him, the ocean turned white with foam as submarine after submarine breached the surface. Each vessel was sleek and deadly, designed with technology that made Federation engineering look primitive. Captain Min-seo Choi watched from the bridge of her stealth destroyer Busan's Shadow as the first wave of submarines reached space. Her ship could phase between dimensions, making it completely invisible to enemy sensors. "Captain, we are receiving targeting data from Fleet Command," her weapons officer announced. "The swarm ships are not detecting our approach." "Of course. They are not," Min-seo smiled. "Begin Dimensional Attack Pattern 7. The Atlantic Ocean exploded into action as Admiral Bora Yu's fleet joined the assault. Massive submarine carriers broke the surface and immediately began launching thousands of smaller attack craft. Each carrier was the size of a small island, but quantum technology allowed them to move faster than anything the galaxy had ever seen. Navigator Yuki piloted her fighter craft through the dimensional barrier between reality and quantum space. To outside observers, her ship simply vanished from normal space and reappeared behind enemy lines. "This is Navigator Yuki to all fighter squadrons. Beginning dimensional strike pattern. Remember, hit them before they know we exist." Up in space, War Prime Thrak was experiencing the first moments of true confusion in his long military career. His sensors showed impossible readings. The ocean planet below was somehow launching more ships than should be physically possible. "What is happening down there?" Thrak demanded. "How many vessels are emerging from that water?" His intelligence officer studied the scanner displays with growing alarm. "War Prime, I count over 50,000 ships rising from the Pacific Ocean alone. The Atlantic is showing similar numbers. That is impossible. Our scouts reported fewer than 3,000 human vessels total. But the evidence was undeniable. Earth's oceans were disgorging the largest fleet any species had ever assembled. Sleek, powerful submarines were transitioning directly from underwater to space travel, using technology that should not exist." Commodore Vrak watched in amazement from his Federation flagship. The human evacuation fleet that was supposed to be fleeing in terror was instead revealing itself as the most advanced military force in the galaxy. "Communications, get me Admiral Kim immediately," Vrak ordered. Hyun-woo's face appeared on the screen. He was no longer trying to look humble or primitive. His expression showed the confidence of a commander who had been planning this moment for decades. "Commodore Vrak, I apologize for the deception," Hyun-woo said calmly. "But Earth felt it was better to show our capabilities rather than simply describe them." "Admiral, how many ships do you have?" "Our current deployment involves approximately 400,000 vessels from the Pacific Fleet alone. The Atlantic, Indian Ocean, and Arctic fleets are also participating in today's operation." Vrak's stone-like face showed the first emotion anyone had ever seen from him: pure shock. Commander Woo-jin Lee's massive carrier submarine Inchin's Might breached the ocean's surface like a surfacing whale, but this whale was 5 miles long and carried enough firepower to destroy entire planets. The huge vessel rotated. As it rose, revealing launch bays that were already releasing swarms of fighter craft. "All squadrons, deploy for maximum coverage," Woo-jin ordered. "Show the swarm what coordinated attack patterns look like." The Crimson Swarm found itself facing an enemy unlike anything in their experience. Human ships appeared from impossible directions, struck with weapons that phased through their biological armor, then vanished before return fire could be targeted. Dr. Sun Hee Kwan's quantum torpedoes were particularly effective. The weapons existed in multiple dimensions simultaneously, making them impossible to block or absorb. When they struck swarm vessels, the biological hulls simply ceased to exist, leaving empty space where massive warships had been. "Dr. Kwan, the quantum torpedo effectiveness is exceeding all projections," her weapons coordinator reported from the deep-sea laboratory. "Enemy adaptation systems cannot function against weapons that phase between realities." "Excellent. Increase firing rate to maximum. Do not give them time to understand what is happening." War Prime Thrak was discovering that his invasion force, which had easily destroyed the entire Federation fleet, was being systematically annihilated by humans. Ships that should have been primitive were using technology centuries ahead of anything the swarm had encountered. "All vessels, retreat to Formation Gamma," Thrak ordered. We need time to analyze their attack patterns. But retreat was not possible. Human submarines could move faster than swarm ships, and their stealth capabilities made them almost impossible to target. Every time swarm vessels tried to withdraw, they found themselves surrounded by enemies they could not see until it was too late. Fleet Admiral Jae-Sung Park coordinated the battle from his command center deep beneath the Mariana Trench. The underwater facility was larger than most surface cities, filled with computers that could track and control over 1 million vessels simultaneously. "Admiral, the swarm is attempting to retreat," his strategic coordinator reported. "Should we allow them to escape?" Negative. This is our opportunity to demonstrate human capability to the entire galaxy. Do not let a single swarm ship leave this system. The battle that was supposed to be Earth's destruction became the Crimson Swarm's worst defeat in their species' history. Human submarines swarmed around the biological ships like underwater predators, striking from every direction with weapons the enemy could not understand. Captain So-Young Park watched the tactical display from her position aboard Admiral Hyun-woo's flagship. The screen showed thousands of red dots representing swarm vessels being systematically eliminated by blue dots representing human submarines. "Admiral, estimated time to complete swarm elimination is 4 hours, So-Young reported. 4 hours to destroy a fleet that defeated the entire Federation," Hyun-woo mused. "The galaxy is going to have many questions." Dr. Yoon-ji Han was monitoring the battle from her research station when she noticed something interesting in the enemy's behavior patterns. "Admiral Park, the swarm is transmitting distress signals toward the galaxy's edge. They are calling for reinforcements." "How large are the reinforcement fleets?" "Unknown, but the signal strength suggests very large numbers. We may have won this battle, but the war is just beginning." High above, War Prime Thrak watched his invasion force disappear, one ship at a time. The humans were not just defeating the swarm, they were completely destroying them without taking significant losses. In his final transmission before his own ship was eliminated by a quantum torpedo, Thrak sent a warning to the main swarm fleet. "Do not underestimate the water planet. The humans have been hiding something incredible." As the last swarm vessel was destroyed, Earth's oceans began to calm. But this was only the beginning. Over 1 million human ships now floated in space around their home planet, waiting for whatever came next. The galaxy would never be the same. Observer Prime Kethra had seen many strange things during her long career with Federation intelligence, but nothing had prepared her for what she was watching now. From her position aboard the Federation flagship, she stared at the scanner displays, showing over 800,000 human vessels floating in Earth's orbital space. "This is impossible," she whispered to herself. Where did they all come from? Commodore Vrak was asking the same question as he spoke with Admiral Hyun-woo Kim through the communication link. "Admiral, I must ask directly. How long has your species been hiding this fleet?" Hyun-woo smiled calmly. "Commodore, humanity has been preparing for galactic threats for approximately 150 years. We felt it was better to remain quiet about our capabilities until they were truly needed." 150 years? But your species only achieved spaceflight 200 years ago. That is correct. We began building our underwater civilization almost as soon as we reached the stars. Earth's oceans provided the perfect hiding place for our real military development. What Vrak and the other Federation observers were seeing was beyond their understanding. Human submarines were transitioning seamlessly between underwater and space operations. Ships that had been hidden beneath miles of ocean water were now demonstrating technology that made Federation engineering look primitive. Dr. Sun-hee Kwan was coordinating the technical demonstration from her laboratory deep beneath the Pacific Ocean. Her quantum computers controlled systems that the Federation had thought were impossible. "Dr. Kwan, the dimensional phase technology is working perfectly," her assistant reported. "Our ships can exist in multiple realities simultaneously." "Excellent. Make sure the Federation observers understand what they are seeing. This is our opportunity to show the galaxy what human engineering can accomplish." Fleet Admiral Jae-Sung Park was overseeing the full reveal from his command center in the Mariana Deep Complex. The massive underwater facility was larger than most surface cities, filled with manufacturing centers that had been producing ships and weapons for over a century. "Admiral, all fleet commanders are reporting ready status," his communications officer announced. We currently have 1,200,000 vessels deployed and operational. 1.2 million ships. Jae-sung repeated slowly. The Federation thought we had fewer than 3,000. Captain Woo Jin Lee's massive carrier submarine Incheon's Might was serving as a floating demonstration of human engineering capabilities. The enormous vessel was larger than most Federation space stations, but it could move underwater as easily as it operated in space. Captain, the Federation technical observers are requesting permission to board and examine our systems, his communications officer reported. Denied, Woo Jin replied. They can observe from a distance, but our technology remains classified for now. The truth was that human technology had surpassed Federation science in almost every area. While the galactic civilizations had grown comfortable with their existing designs, humanity had continued innovating and improving their capabilities. Dr. Eun Ji-han was demonstrating Earth's underwater manufacturing capabilities to a group of shocked Federation scientists. Her research station could produce fully functional submarines in a matter of days, using quantum assembly techniques that built ships at the molecular level. Dr. Han, how is such rapid construction possible? Asked Dr. Zelak, a Federation engineer whose blue crystalline body was shimmering with confusion. Simple, Yoonji replied. Instead of building ships piece by piece, we grow them using quantum-guided molecular assembly. The process is similar to how biological organisms develop, but much faster and more precise. What the Federation was learning was that humanity had not just been hiding ships. They had been hiding an entire technological civilization that operated beneath Earth's oceans. Underwater cities housed millions of people who worked in advanced laboratories and manufacturing centers. The ocean floor was covered with installations that could produce weapons, ships, and equipment faster than any surface facility. Navigator Yuki was demonstrating the capabilities of Earth's fighter craft to a group of Federation pilots. Her small ship could phase between dimensions, allowing it to attack from directions that should not exist. Navigator, how does your vessel achieve dimensional transition? Asked Commander Trell, a Federation ace pilot whose 6 arms moved nervously as he watched the impossible maneuvers. Quantum phase technology, Yuki explained. Our ships can exist in multiple realities simultaneously. We can be in normal space, quantum space, and dimensional fold space all at the same time. The Federation pilots watched in amazement as Yuki's fighter simply vanished from their sensors, reappeared behind their formation, then phased through their ships without causing any damage. Your weapons could strike us from any direction, Commander Trell realized. We would have no defense. That is correct, Yuki confirmed. But humanity prefers to use our technology for protection rather than conquest. Observer Prime Kethra was compiling a report for the Federation Council that would change galactic politics forever. The species they had considered weak and primitive was actually the most advanced military power in the galaxy. Intelligence summary, she spoke into her recording device. Human military capabilities exceed Federation estimates by approximately 40,000%. Their technology appears to be centuries ahead of current galactic standards. Recommendation: immediate diplomatic revision of Earth's status within the Yate Federation. Admiral Bo-Ra-Yu was coordinating the demonstration of Earth's deep space capabilities. Her Atlantic fleet was showing how human submarines could operate in the vacuum of space as effectively as they worked underwater. Admiral, the Federation observers are particularly interested in our faster-than-light capabilities, her tactical officer reported. Show them the quantum drive systems, Bo-Ra ordered. Let them see how we can travel between stars in hours instead of days. The demonstration was impressive. Human submarines could accelerate to faster-than-light speeds almost instantly, using quantum tunneling technology that bypassed the normal limitations of space travel. What took Federation ships days to accomplish, human vessels could do in hours. Commander Min-seo Choi was demonstrating her stealth destroyer's invisibility systems. The Busan's shadow could become completely undetectable to any known scanning technology. Commander, our sensors show nothing, Commodore Vrak admitted. How are you achieving complete stealth? Quantum camouflage, Min-seo explained. Our ships exist slightly outside normal reality. Your sensors cannot detect something that is not entirely in your dimension. The implications were staggering. Humanity could move fleets of invisible ships anywhere in the galaxy without being detected. They could strike any target without warning and disappear before enemies could respond. General Tae-min Choi was revealing the true scope of Earth's underwater civilization to Federation leaders. His holographic presentation showed massive cities built on the ocean floor, manufacturing centers that could produce millions of tons of equipment daily, and research facilities that had been developing advanced technology for over a century. General, how many people live in these underwater cities? High Arbiter Xyloth asked through the communication link. Approximately 500 million humans currently live and work in our oceanic civilization, Tae-min replied. This represents about 10% of Earth's total population. 500 million people working on military technology for 150 years, Xyloth calculated slowly. No wonder your capabilities are so advanced. Dr. Kyung-Soo Nam was explaining Earth's diplomatic strategy to shocked Federation officials. As humanity's chief diplomatic scientist, he had helped plan the deception that had kept Earth's true capabilities secret for 3 years. Dr. Nam, why did your species choose to hide your true strength? Ambassador Kethra asked. Simple, Kyung-Soo replied. We wanted to learn about galactic civilizations before revealing our capabilities. Knowledge is always more valuable than demonstration of power. But you could have prevented many Federation defeats if you had revealed your technology earlier. Perhaps. But we needed to understand whether the galaxy would accept human leadership, or if our advanced capabilities would create fear and hostility. The conversation was interrupted by urgent alerts from deep space monitoring stations. Admiral Hyun-woo's voice came through the communication system with grave news. All commanders, we are detecting massive energy signatures approaching from the galaxy's edge. The main Crimson Swarm fleet is responding to our destruction of their advance force. Scanner displays showed the approaching threat. Over 2 million swarm ships were moving toward Federation space, led by vessels larger than anything previously seen. Admiral, estimated enemy fleet size is 2.3 million vessels, reported Captain So Young Park. They appear to be bringing their entire military force. Hyun-woo looked at the Federation observers with calm confidence. Commodore Vrak, it appears the real battle is about to begin. I hope the Federation is prepared to see what human military doctrine can accomplish when fully deployed. Xyloth's worried voice came through the communication link. Admiral Kim, can your forces handle an enemy fleet of that size? High Arbiter, Hyun-woo replied with a slight smile. You have seen less than 20% of Earth's military capabilities. The demonstration is far from over. Around Earth, over 1 million human ships began moving into new formations, preparing AOA. The Crimson Swarm's main fleet arrived at the edge of Earth's solar system like a dark cloud that blocked out the stars. Supreme War Prime Keth Thrak commanded over 2.3 million biological ships, the largest military force the Swarm had ever assembled. His massive flagship was the size of a small moon, grown from living tissue over thousands of years. This water planet destroyed our advance force, Keth Thrak said to his war council. Today we will consume every living thing in this system. No mercy. No survivors. The swarm formation was impressive and terrifying. Ships that looked like massive insects filled space for millions of miles. Their biological hulls pulsed with unnatural energy, and their weapon systems charged with power that could destroy entire worlds. High Arbiter Xyloth watched the approaching enemy from his position aboard the Federation command ship. His blue skin had turned almost black with fear. Admiral Kim, that fleet is larger than anything the galaxy has ever seen, Xyloth transmitted to Earth. Can your forces truly handle such numbers? Admiral Hyun-woo Kim stood on the bridge of his flagship, completely calm despite facing the largest enemy fleet in galactic history. Around Earth, over 1 million human ships waited in perfect formation. High Arbiter, humanity has been preparing for this exact situation for 150 years. You are about to see what we can accomplish when we stop holding back. President In-ho Kim addressed the galaxy from Earth's capital city. His speech was broadcast to every Federation world, every human colony, and every alien civilization that had the technology to receive it. Fellow beings of the galaxy, President Kim began, today marks a new chapter in galactic history. For 3 years, Earth has been a humble member of the Federation, learning from our advanced neighbors, but humanity has also been preparing for the day when our true capabilities would be needed. The Crimson Swarm believes they can consume our worlds and destroy our civilizations. They are about to learn that the galaxy has a new protector. Fleet Admiral Jae Sung Park, coordinated the largest military operation in human history from his command center deep beneath the Mariana Trench. His quantum computers could control and communicate with over 1.5 million vessels simultaneously, using technology that made Federation command systems look primitive. All fleet commanders, report status, Jae Sung ordered. Pacific Deep Fleet, reports 500,000 vessels ready for action, Admiral Bo-Ra Yu responded. Atlantic Fleet reports 400,000 ships prepared for deployment, Admiral Sung-Ho Lim confirmed. Indian Ocean and Arctic fleets combined report 350,000 vessels operational, General Tae-min Choi added. Space-based reserve fleet reports 250,000. Ships in position, Admiral Hyun-woo concluded, 5 million ships, the largest military force ever assembled by any species in galactic history. Dr. Sun Hee Kwan activated Earth's ultimate weapon system from her laboratory beneath the Pacific Ocean. The global quantum defense network connected every human ship, submarine, and space station into a single coordinated fighting force. Dr. Kwan, the quantum coordination system is fully operational, her assistant reported. We can now control 1.5 million vessels as if they were a single organism. Perfect. The swarm fights with biological coordination. Today they learn what technological coordination can accomplish. Supreme War Prime Keth Thrak began his attack with confidence. His 2.3 million ships moved toward Earth in massive formations, expecting to overwhelm the defenders through pure numbers. Begin the assault, Keth Thrak ordered. Destroy every human vessel, then consume the planet. What happened next shocked everyone in the galaxy. Instead of meeting the swarm in space, Earth's fleet did something impossible. Admiral Bo-Ra Yu's Pacific Fleet dove back into Earth's oceans, disappearing beneath the waves. The Atlantic Fleet followed, then the Indian Ocean forces. Within minutes, over 1 million human ships had vanished underwater. Where did they go? Keth Thrak demanded. How can space vessels hide in water? His question was answered when the ocean began to attack. From every body of water on Earth, quantum torpedoes erupted into space like underwater volcanoes. The weapons phased between dimensions, making them impossible to block or absorb. When they struck swarm vessels, the biological hulls simply ceased to exist. Commander Ji-hoon Yoon coordinated the underwater assault from his submarine Soul's depth. His vessel could fire quantum weapons while completely submerged, using technology that allowed underwater ships to target enemies in space. All submarine commanders begin coordinated firing pattern 7, Ji-hoon ordered. Show them what Earth's oceans can do. The result was devastating. Swarm ships found themselves under attack from directions that should be impossible. Weapons appeared from empty space, struck with incredible force, then vanished before return fire could be targeted. Navigator Yuki led fighter squadrons that phased between underwater and space operations. Her craft could dive into Earth's oceans, reload weapons and fuel, then reappear in space behind enemy lines. Fighter squadrons begin dimensional attack runs, Yuki transmitted. Use the planet's gravity well and oceanic cover to maximum advantage. Dr. Yoon Ji-han's research had created weapons that existed in multiple realities simultaneously. Her quantum bombs could strike targets in normal space while being fired from underwater launchers that existed in dimensional fold space. Dr. Han, quantum weapon effectiveness is exceeding all projections, her weapons coordinator reported. The swarm cannot adapt to weapons that exist in multiple dimensions. Captain Min-seo Choi's stealth destroyer Busan's Shadow demonstrated the ultimate in human tactics. Her ship could phase underwater to avoid enemy fire, then reappear in space to strike from unexpected angles. Captain, we have eliminated 500 enemy vessels without taking any damage, her tactical officer reported. They cannot target what they cannot detect. Supreme War Prime Keth Thrak watched his massive fleet being systematically destroyed by an enemy he could not understand. Human ships appeared from impossible directions, struck with impossible weapons, then vanished before his forces could. Respond! All vessels, focus fire on the planet's surface, Keth Thrak ordered desperately. If we cannot destroy their ships, we will destroy their world. But Earth's surface was protected by defensive systems the swarm had never imagined. Commander Woo Jin Lee's massive carrier submarine Incheon's Might rose from the Pacific Ocean and activated its planetary shield generators. Planetary defense systems are online, Woo Jin reported. Earth is now protected by quantum barrier fields that can absorb unlimited energy. The swarm's most powerful weapons struck Earth's protective barriers and were completely absorbed. The energy was redirected through quantum systems and fired back at the attackers with increased force. Grand Admiral Zerion arrived with the Federation's remaining fleet, expecting to find Earth destroyed. Instead, he discovered human ships systematically hunting down swarm stragglers throughout the solar system. "Admiral Kim, what happened here?" Zerion asked in amazement. "Grand Admiral, humanity demonstrated what 150 years of preparation can accomplish," Hyunwoo replied. "The swarm discovered that Earth's oceans contain more firepower than their entire civilization." Dr. Kyung-Soo Nam presented the Federation Council with humanity's new position in galactic politics. Earth was no longer asking for membership in the Federation. They were offering to lead it. "Council members," Dr. Kyung-Soo began, "humanity proposes a new galactic defense structure. Earth's underwater manufacturing capabilities can produce enough ships and weapons to protect every Federation world. Our quantum technology can create communication and coordination systems that will prevent future invasions. In return, we ask only for the opportunity to serve as the galaxy's protectors." President In-ho Kim's final address to the galaxy was broadcast as the last swarm ships were eliminated. "Fellow beings of the galaxy, the threat is ended. The Crimson Swarm has been completely destroyed. But this victory represents more than military success. It marks the beginning of a new age of galactic cooperation. Earth's oceans have revealed their secret. Humanity has been preparing for this moment since we first learned we were not alone in the universe. Today, we offer our strength to protect all civilizations that choose peace over conquest." Observer Prime Kethra compiled her final report on the battle. The numbers were almost impossible to believe. Battle summary: Crimson Swarm fleet of 2.3 million vessels completely destroyed. Human losses: 17 ships damaged, 0 ships destroyed. Time to complete enemy elimination: 6 hours and 37 minutes. Conclusion: humanity possesses military capabilities that exceed the combined strength of all known galactic civilizations. Recommend immediate recognition of Earth as the Federation's primary defense partner. As the smoke cleared from the greatest space battle in galactic history, one fact became clear to everyone in the galaxy. The species that had seemed weakest was actually the strongest. The planet that had appeared most vulnerable was actually the most dangerous. Earth's oceans had hidden humanity's true strength for 150 years. Now that strength would protect the galaxy for thousands of years to come. Ambassador Dong-Hyun Lee's final words to the Federation Council summarized humanity's new position perfectly. "Honored Council members, you asked what Earth could contribute to galactic defense. We thought it was better to show you rather than tell you. The demonstration is now complete. The